Welcome to Faith and Beyond YouTube channel. If this is your first time, my name is Claire. And on Faith and Beyond, we talk about faith, motherhood, and wife life, and everything in between. Today, I have my best friend again, Christian. Welcome.
Thank you.
And if you didn't see our first video when I was with Christian, she was talking to us about motherhood and wife life, homemaking, and how us as young moms can do it and not be overwhelmed. Through that video, if you have not watched it, we are going to link it down below. Go back and watch it, and then you come back and watch this one as well, because this is going to be a continuation of what we talked about in our first video. So when we were talking, she told us that she has a routine. She wakes up very early in the morning and she has a list of things that she does. So we would want you to take us through your daily routine. When you wake up at 5, what do you do? When do you wake up? And when do you go back to bed?
Okay. Well, I start at 5:30. For a long time, I had to use an alarm for 5:30. But once I established that goal and that routine, it became a habit. So I start at 5:30, and just like I scheduled my time here with you, that's my scheduled time with Jesus. I grab my cup of coffee. And if I'm being completely transparent, sometimes that coffee is just reheated from yesterday's pot of coffee.
Oh, no.
And then I start fresh. I grab a cup of coffee with only heavy cream. And that's where I start talking to Jesus. And I work through a devotional time, my Bible study time. I ask God during that time to bring to mind anything that needs to get done for that day. I allow God to speak to me about the things that are most important for that day.
Yeah.
Then I move on to the things that mothers do and wives do. I make a bed. I do the laundry. I might empty the dishwasher from the night before. I do just those daily things that have to get done. If I were working outside the home, and there are days that I have to leave the house early in the morning. I leave at 6:30 on a couple of mornings. Mm-hmm. I have to get out of the house early. So those things don't get done early in the morning. This is just starting at 5:30. I kind of establish what has to get done, and those things kind of just magically somehow get done mm-hmm. between that 6:30 and 7:30 hour on most mornings. 7:30, I wake the boys that are left at home because we homeschool, so I wake them and we get started on our lessons. We do breakfast together. I usually, modern technology is so amazing. I put on my phone to read through the Bible. So we listen while we're making breakfast. We're listening to the Bible. So we're listening to 2 or 3 chapters a day. We're right smack in the middle of Ecclesiastes. And each year I try to pick a different version of the Bible to listen to. Oh. We started in a version last year that was not my favorite version.
What version was that?
It was the Message. The Message version to me just felt a little too washed over. Oh. I felt like so much of the meaning was lost. Mm-hmm. So much of the heart of God was lost in that version for me and our family. So we started there, but then we abandoned ship and start over with an NIV version this year. So anyway, so we listened to 2 or 3 chapters while they're eating their breakfast because they're sleepy, they're tired, they're waking up, and that's how we start our day. And then after everybody's teeth are brushed and beds are made, I read somewhere years ago that one of the habits of successful people is making their beds. So I insist that my children, no accidents
On the bed.
on the bed. And in my own bed, I still pray as I make it every morning that we would have good communication, that we would not go to bed angry, that we would wake up refreshed and eager to serve one another well. Mm-hmm. So that's just kind of a mantra that I set. So the beds get prayed over. And then we start our day with school lessons and different activities that we have going. But each day I have assigned zones in my house. So I don't try to clean my entire house every day. Now, things like the kitchen, that gets tidied up and cleaned, and dishes get put away after each meal. Laundry kind of gets done at some point every day, but I actually like to give myself a check mark every time I do a load of laundry, because I am very much, I feel great satisfaction when I get rewarded.
And the check mark is
the check mark is enough. I used to use foil star stickers like a good teacher, right? But now I put myself a little check mark. And if I fold and put away the laundry for the day, I give myself a check plus.
That is big. That is a big thing, to fold laundry
and put it away.
Yeah.
Now, of course, my kids are a little bit older, so I stack their laundry and say, go put this away.
Yes, I can hear a mom with little kids saying, if I am able to wash that laundry and be able to put it back, it doesn't have to be folded.
Right.
Yeah.
So for a job well done, I give myself a check plus. And I keep a record of that every week. I have a little outline that I use, that bathrooms, laundry, and trash collection are something that I just kind of do every day. And I put a check mark so that if anybody says in my house, which it might be my husband, nobody ever takes out the trash but me, I can look at my sheet and say, no, I did it 5 times this week. See, I have check marks with check plus.
I have proof.
I don't clean every bathroom in the house every day. I only clean the bathroom. We have 4 bathrooms in our house, and I clean it once a week. I clean each bathroom once a week. Now, because my boys are older, they are responsible for cleaning their own bathroom. But I go in there for a mama clean once a week.
Them. Yeah.
Once a week, just to check and make sure that, the mold is not creeping up, or the toilets really have no stains around them. Just all those things that I would have to do anyway, but they are pretty good about keeping up with it, because I have at times fussed enough to say, that's not mama clean, you need to do a better job, as to the Lord. In my guest bathroom, while I'm cleaning my guest bathroom once a week, I pray for anyone who might come in to our house, and I pray that they might be able to look into the mirror and see the reflection of Christ in them.
Wow.
So
ministry doesn't have to be on the pulpit.
No. And
you
it gets
pray
done
for the bathroom so that everybody who gets in there would see Christ in themselves.
Yes.
Wow.
That Christ might be reflected in the mirrors. Kind of a silly thing, but yet practical, as I'm cleaning the toilets. Make sure everyone has good digestive health and not feeling sick and ill and doesn't spread germs into my home, because there's this level of protection there too.
That brings a different meaning to cleaning our houses. If we, because sometimes when you have little kids and you're trying to do everything,
all the things,
sometimes you feel like, why do I have to do it? I'm cleaning this place, and in 2 minutes, it is going to be a mess. Why do I even have to do it? But from what I hear you saying, it is a ministry. You're doing it unto the Lord. You're not doing it to your children for them to say thank you, or
they reap the benefits
to your husband.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's for our good and His glory. Everything that we do, right? and anything that he directs us to do. So laundry, bathroom, and trash are kind of my daily tasks that I make sure that gets done. So the bathrooms, I don't clean every bathroom every day, but I have it broken down to bite-sized pieces, something that I know I can get done and is manageable. And then I zone my house. So on Monday, I typically will clean our dining room and the entry hall, because those are the rooms that are first seen by any guests or visitors that come into my house. It's not a super high traffic space, so there's not a whole lot of tidy that has to be done every day. But if we played a board game on Friday, by Monday, I've cleaned up the board game. I dust, I vacuum, I clean the windows, I make sure the light fixtures aren't swinging with cobwebs.
As if no one lives there.
Right.
I'm looking at mine.
But more importantly, just like my bathrooms, I pray over each chair in my dining room, that each chair would be blessed by whoever sits there, whoever comes into my house. And so just this past week, I had a sweet friend pop in, and she has written me a song.
Oh.
It was so, I've never had anybody write a song for me in my life and speak into my life with a praise song, but she wanted to share that with me, and she sat at my dining room table, and as she was singing and I was listening to the lyrics, I was recalling that I had asked God to bless her, and there she was blessing me. It was a really sweet moment that, those prayers have not gone unanswered. And it doesn't matter if, the only time somebody sits at my dining room table is a holiday. And we don't use our dining room a whole lot for actual eating because we use the kitchen table. But it was nice. That was kind of one of those, God heard that prayer that I had prayed earlier this week on that chair.
Prayers don't expire. They are always there.
So, and then in my entry hall, I have a little bench. I pray over that bench. I pray over the doorway, asking God to bless all those and protect those that come into our house. So we have hedges of protection that I put in, and that's kind of the prayers that I say over those spaces. And as I'm cleaning the floors or cleaning the windows, I just ask that God be with us in all those spaces. So on Tuesday, we cleaned the living room and my laundry room space. So my laundry room space kind of doubles as what some people might call a mud room. That's the place where all backpacks get dropped, or sometimes sports equipment gets dropped. That's the place where towels that were used to wash cars gets dry. So it's just kind of a catch-all space, and it requires a lot of tidy. It just does. So I would venture to say I've spent hours of prayer over my washing machine, just asking God to make it work, to make it work properly. Because I feel like in our lifetime, we've had a lot of repairs on that washing machine, and it's so vital that I have that washing machine to get rid of all the teenager smell.
Okay. I haven't gone there, but I'm very close.
But you have had enough experience with the spit up smell.
Yes.
The diaper overrunneth smell.
I still have that.
Yes, all those things that just kind of make a household smell gets taken care of.
But your house smells so good.
Well, thank you.
It does.
And then so I also clean the living room during that time. And of course, I'm praying over every chair in the living room, because I want every chair in the living room, whoever sits there, whether it's our own family or a guest that enters in, I want them to feel the love of God, and I want them to know that they are loved. And those chairs are places where people come to talk. Those chairs are places where people come to discuss new ideas or dream about things to come. And I want our time there to be blessed by God. So I do that. And then on Wednesday, I'm trying to remember which zone is on Wednesday. I have what I call my library room. So my library room is also the guest room. And there's a bed in there with the cutest little throw pillow that says, I read past my bedtime.
Oh, you do?
And so we clean up the guest room. Even if nobody has slept in that guest room, I don't wash the sheets if nobody's been in there, but I fluff the pillows and I pray over the pillows that, whoever sleeps there gets a rest that they need. I also clean on that day what we call our den, which is kind of the TV room, the game room, the place where we gather and eat popcorn and pizza. Those are the spaces that I want everyone to feel very relaxed. And there is enough chairs in there that we can pack 12 if we want. And I pray over them all. Then I have my boys' suite, which is kind of a Jack and Jill bathroom with two spaces for my boys. And that's the day that we clean the sheets. We make sure the windows are clean. We dust the shelves. The trophies don't get to collect dust. If you're proud of them and you want them displayed, then they're going to be dust free. And it reminds them too that you accomplished something here.
Yes.
You overcame maybe a difficult team member, or that's also a good time that we pray over friendships, because there are friendships made during those times. In those spaces where they're playing or they're creating with Legos or whatever, we pray over all of those things.
Yes. And what I like about the routine and making zones, I remember when I came to you and I was like, I don't know if that period, I was like, I don't even know if I'm a good mom. I don't know if I'm doing the right things. I don't even know what I'm doing, because I would want my house to be clean all the time, but also forget that I have little kids. And I would start something, and in the middle, maybe I would start cleaning, and in the middle, someone wants to be fed, and I would stop. I go feeding them. And then that's when I called you. I remember we sat over there and you were like, you are enough.
Enough.
What you need to do is to have a plan, have a schedule, create zones. I remember you breaking down this entire house and you said, every time the boys go to bed, clean this area. And after that, that's okay. Go to bed knowing that you have accomplished something. So that was so helpful, because even now, if I know that what I have planned to do, I have done it for that day, I go to bed.
Yes.
Knowing that I have done all I had to do for the day.
And I think the beauty of those zone ideas for me really comes in if one week we are off to the baseball games or practice, or we need a doctor's appointment and then this and then that, and my time to clean the library and the den is occupied by something outside of our home, or something has come up. Maybe somebody got sick. We live with children. They're going to get sick occasionally, But with that, I don't stress over that. I cleaned that well last week.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it this week. If it doesn't get done, I don't have to.
Yeah.
Because I'll have next week. And on my Thursday, this will get done. Or on my Wednesday, this will get done. I don't have to panic in the back of my mind that it's just so filthy. It's not. I just did it. Even if I just did it 2 weeks ago, It's going to be okay. Now, of course, if somebody spills a soda on the floor, I clean that up, or I have them clean it up immediately. We don't leave stickiness on the, accidents and spills. Those get addressed right away.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as cleaning the light fixture, making sure the windows are clean, and vacuuming the whole room, that was done last week. It'll be okay. I can sleep easy because I've got next week.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Jesus comes back, and then who cares?
The house will be.
Who cares?
I don't know what
Nobody
will happen
cares.
when Jesus comes back. So what would you tell a mama out there she is overwhelmed? She doesn't know where to start from. And I love this. You talk about it. You told me, everybody was telling me, enjoy them when they are still little. You are going to miss them. So there is this mother who is saying, she's listening to us, and she's saying, you're saying that because your kids are grown. And she looks at herself and everything around her, and she feels like she's not doing enough, or she would do more, or she doesn't know even where to start from. Look in the camera and speak to that mama from your heart.
You will not miss those times because you've done enough. You did everything you could at the time, and you were the best version of yourself at the time. And you're being the best version of yourself at this time. 6 years from now, you'll know more, you'll learn more, you'll have something established, better organized or whatever, and you'll be a better version of yourself. The only person that you need to be better than is who you were yesterday. And so as you move through life with your small children, when they're 12 and 17, of course, you'll look back at those pictures and go, oh, weren't they so adorable? I miss that.
Yeah.
Adorable chubby cheek. But you won't miss the time of all the cleaning because you're able to enjoy who they are now even more than you enjoyed who they were then. They're growing and you're growing, and before you know it, they're going to be out of your house. You are enough on what you're doing today because you're doing better than you were yesterday. And that's all you have to do, is one day at a time. I didn't start out with this amazing routine. And I think it's amazing because I feel so much freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't start until I had that surrender moment with God. And He spoke very clearly, rest. I could not give of myself in a way that was meaningful, and I couldn't serve Him in any way because I was just so tired. But once I gave up and that surrender and began my rest, it became easier to add a little bit here and a little bit there and manage my time so that I can get this chunk done. This zone in my house is clean. Maybe this zone in my house isn't clean, but it's okay because I'm doing things better today than I was 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Yeah. Wow. I can't thank you enough. I knew everything you said, but I wanted my community to hear from you and learn from you. What I'm taking out from this conversation, sometimes when we are all over doing everything, sometimes I find myself saying, I can't find enough time to pray. But what I heard you saying is that during your cleaning time, during your cooking time, when you're helping your children to do their homework, you can pray. So we want to encourage you moms there that you take one day at a time, one chore at a time, and enjoy motherhood to the fullest. We can't do everything in one chunk, but little bits of everything can lead us to doing a whole lot, and we can enjoy motherhood, and our life will be better if we go slow but sure of what we are doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
at Faith and Beyond, we love you, and we are committed to continue sharing the knowledge we get from different people and sharing with you everything that God is going to be putting on our hearts. We are doing it because God is calling us into this space. So write to us, let us know what God is doing in your lives, and share with us even what you want us to talk about. If it is something that I can talk about, I will be happy to do it. If it is a topic that is beyond me, like this topic, I can bring someone who is better than me, and we can all grow together.
Yes.
Right? So we love you, and we will see you in the next video. God bless you.